Hey, welcome back. So in this video we're going to be doing loads of DIYs that you can do for your nursery or for any other room in the home. They're really simple and easy to do. I did promise in my last video that I would be doing a reveal of the nursery. However, because I've done so many more DIYs in this video, I'm going to split them up. So we've got some DIYs in this video and the next video will be the nursery reveal. I absolutely promise you. But yeah, do subscribe so you know when that goes up. So yeah, let's get into it. I bought a shed load of little pom-poms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to string them all up onto a bit of string and then just make a really simple garland that I can just put in a room as sort of a decorative feature. So yeah, let's just do that. Really simple. All we need is some thread, some pom-poms, a needle and some scissors. Up first, I am just totally going completely random with the colours, so all I'm doing is literally just threading the needle through the middle and then getting them on like that. I have used sort of a thicker cotton as well, just so it's a bit sturdier. Okay, so I think I've made a long enough garland. So what I'm going to do just to finish it off is I've threaded the last one on, and then what I'll do is I'll just thread it through there like so to create a loop. Do that twice. And then I'm just going to create a little loop on the end so I've got somewhere to hook it onto. So just like that, and I'll do the same on the other end as well. There we go, all done, and that's taken me 15 minutes to do. So yeah, really simple. This is very long actually, so obviously do a short one, it's going to take less time. So yeah, we get this styled up now. Okay, so my next project I want to do is do some artwork for this particular frame. I'm thinking just basically some numbers in various colours. I think what I'll do is going to do some of it on the Cricut, just to get the outlines of the numbers, and then I think we'll probably go in and use some watercolour or something just to fill in the numbers. So yeah, let's give this a go. Unfortunately, I didn't film the bit in between the numbers going from how they were to this. Unfortunately, when I came to look at the numbers again, I'd managed to smudge some of the watercolour paint across the sort of background. So I thought the only solution here was to do sort of wash sort of effects in the background. I tried to get the marks off, but yeah, they just weren't, it was going to cause more damage. So yeah, this is how the numbers ended up looking like this. I had some paint left over from painting the numbers, so I thought I might as well use the paint up, and I decided to do a rainbow effect on a A4 bit of paper. Wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it at this point. I decided that I was going to use a sheet of vellum paper or tracing paper and basically create an overlay. I used the Cricut to cut out some wording with vinyl, and then I stuck that onto the vellum paper, and then we can use that to lay over the rainbow painting, and then we can get that framed. Okay, so I don't think I showed you this once it was finished. I'm just going to get this framed up. So I'm going to be putting it in this frame that I upcycled in my previous video. We can get that styled up now. So I can't remember if I actually showed you this one. when I put it together, but yeah, that's the other one that I did with the watercolours. And then I'm just waiting for an A1 frame to come. I've got a children's style map of the UK, so just waiting for that to come. If you'd watched my previous video, you would have seen me make this lampshade. I love the principle of it, however when I put it up it's just way too small, so I'm going to take this apart. We are going to do something very similar, but we're just going to do it on a bigger scale. So I've got this IKEA lampshade that I've had it up in the studio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top ring out and I'm going to use that as part of the base first. And I'm going to keep this as well. I'm going to take the bottom ring out, which I'm not going to use for this lampshade, but I'm sure we can find some other uses for them. And then I've also got the slightly smaller version of the same lamp, or same style of lampshade. So let's get that out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically glue the middle one, sorry, the smaller one into the middle like so, but I just need to make sure I measure it out so it's perfectly in the middle, and then we're going to use that as the base for the lamp fitting. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this glue first, which is a Gorilla Glue, incredibly strong, waterproof one, and then I'll go in with the glue gun as well, because the glue gun will set quicker. So I think I'm just going to put some electrical tape around these joints here just to keep it secure whilst the glue sort of sets a bit more. I'm just a bit worried that obviously with moving it around and stuff it might just come undone. Okay, so the glue and the hot glue didn't really stay once I started moving it around, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue it and then I'm just going to back some electrical tape around it and leave the electrical tape there, and then hopefully that should keep it in a secure sort of place, because I suppose once it's up it's not really going to be moving anywhere anyway, so. Okay, so I've marked out where I'm going to put each stem, so I think I'm going to start off with the inner circle first and then go from there. So I just need some pliers. Okay, so I've done the first layer. Now we're going to do the outside. Okay, so put those all on there now. So yeah, looking a lot better because it's far. Double that on there. It's a lot bigger. Yeah, it's got a bit more presence about it, shall we say. So I think what I'm going to do, just to stop these from sort of sliding around so much, is I think I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue from the glue gun on either side of these, just so that they are more in one place rather than shifting around. And then I think I'm going to put fern across the top here like that, just so it hides the white ring. Okay, so I didn't quite get the lampshade finish yesterday, so I've glued all the little dots on top of the rings just to make sure that the leaves stay in place. My next bit is to add the fern cut just to cover the outside ring so you can't see that. So I think what I'm going to use is some floral shoe wire just to secure them, and then once that's done we should be able to get it hung. So let's get on with that. So basically how I'm attaching it is I'm just taking the fern leaf, threading the wire through the front and then back again, and then we're just basically twisting the wire at the back so it's nice and tight. Okay, I think I've done it. So let's get this hung up. Okay. So I didn't film the first couple of coats painting this. I will try and find a photo or some footage of what it did used to look like. But basically it's an old toolbox which was my granddad's that he made when I think he was probably an apprentice, I think. So it's got a little bit of sentimental value. We're just going to get the last coat. I think it's only one more coat that I need to do. We can start using it to put Olive's toys and stuff in here. So let's get that done. That's now done. I forgot to say what paint I used. It was the French Chic, the Lady Range in Stone Rosy. Okay, so I bought a A1 pitch frame, no, sorry, A2 pitch frame for the UK map. I ordered it in red because there's a little bit of red in the wallpaper, but I'm not sure if this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to paint it. And I'll probably paint it in the off-white, the French Chic paint. But let's have a look. Let's get it open. Probably not quite the right red, so debating whether to actually maybe still keep it red, but just get it the right coloured red. So it needs to be slightly more orangey, I think, sort of more in keeping with the colours that are already in her room. So yeah, let's get it dismantled, get it sanded and go from there. Right, let's see what paint we can make. Okay, so I've decided that we're going to paint the picture frame because it's not quite the right red, but we are going to keep it sort of on the red tone. So I've mixed up this sort of more orangey, pinky red colour, and we're going to get that on the frame. I've already sanded the frame down, so let's get it painted. You know what? Change of plan. I think I'm going to paint this with Stone Rosy in the French Chic, because the acrylic paint isn't really working. So yeah, I'm just going to let this coat dry and then we'll go in with the Stone Rosy, and yeah, do that. There's loads of colour that's going to be in the actual UK map, so it's not like we have to have it red. So yeah, I'm just going to get this cleaned up. Okay, so I've finished painting the frame, so we can now get the UK map in there. And there we go. Okay, you can now get that started up as well. I've already made a start on this project. As you would have seen in my previous video, I'd made a Roman blind. However, it is just in like a really simple cream, sort of heavyweight cotton. So it looks a bit boring. So to jazz it up, we have been adding bits of yarn onto it and then just tying them in a little knot just to add some texture and some colour. So we've gone for like a green, which is very similar to the colour of the ceiling, and then the blue is quite similar to the colour that's on the wall as well. So, and they are slightly different yarns. One's kind of a bit more fluffy and then the other one's sort of like your standard sort of yarn. So I've done this section already, but I've got the rest of the blind to do. Let me show you what I've been doing to achieve this. So what I've been using for this is obviously I've got my yarns, which I think both came from Hobbycraft, and then tape measure just to measure out spacing, pair of scissors, a needle with a fairly large or decent size eye hole, and a friction pen. These are fantastic for marking on fabrics and stuff. All what you need to do to remove it is an iron, basically removes from heat, but they're also good writing pens as well. First thing I want to do is just get this line marked up. There is a vertical line in the fabric already, which I've been using to follow this line or this here. So there's 14 centimetres between each line, so that's what I've been using as my guide for this gap here. We'll get this line marked up and then we can start adding the yarn. I do apologise if you can hear banging and toys being played in the background. Oliver is down here on the floor just helping me, well, not helping me, but playing whilst I get on with this. Okay, now that I've marked it out, I'm just going to get my needle threaded up with the yarn. So the easiest way I've found is to thread the needle and then just literally double up the thread. Okay, so let's start off in here. So what we're just going to do is literally just catch a little bit of the fabric where you've marked it and then literally just pull it through as far down to the end as possible. So you want to pull it through until you've got a reasonable length at the end, so you can use that to tie it once we thread it through. And then we're just going to keep going back and forth as many times as you need to. With this thread I'm going through 5 times. So once you've gone back through as many times as you need to, just chop that off there. Whatever's left I'll use on the next one. And then we're just basically going to take each side and then just tie it in a knot and then trim off any excess. And then we can move on to the next one. I've now finished the blind and I'm really pleased with it. It was so simple to do. Yes, it did take a little bit of time, but yeah, it looks so much better now that it's got a little bit more colour and a bit of texture on it. And also you could probably use this technique on like a throw, so if you've got a plain throw, or if you've just got some plain curtains as well, you could do it on curtains as well. You don't have to just do it on Roman blind, or even a cushion. Yeah, just having a thought of loads of different ideas then. So I'm going to leave this video here, so join me on my next one where we'll be styling up the nursery and I'm going to actually finally give you a full tour of the nursery. See you soon!